What is going on, people? Day number 17 of the 31 Days Hath October series, which I'm doing on this channel. For those of you who have not checked out the other 16 days, what are you waiting for? No, but for those of you who don't know, this is where I'm doing 31 horror movie reviews in 31 days. Like I said, today is day number 17. I'm not the only one doing some kind of, series. There's 31 Days of Halloween, 31 Days of Horror. So many people are doing something along the lines of this. So if you don't see a movie on my channel that you want to check out for this month, because of course October is, National Horror Movie Watching Month, I guess you want to call it, where everybody loves watching horror movies during October. So if you don't see anything on this channel that you want to check out, go ahead and check out everybody else's channel, which I have listed in the description. So check that out. Like I said, people are calling it 31 Days of Halloween, 31 Days of Horror. Some people are reviewing black and white movies, classic movies, cult classic movies, random movies kind of deal. Me, I call it 31 Days Hath October, and me, I do independent titles. I try to do them in alphabetical order. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Like today's letter would be Q, but I don't have many movies that start with Q that kind of fall under the independent titles or independent movies. There's the quiet ones and stuff like that. A few different movies, but they're put out by the bigger companies. So pretty much what I do when I don't have a letter that corresponds, I just pick another letter. So anyway, I'm going to go to H. This is a recent movie I picked up. It's actually been put out last week by Epic Pictures Group, or Dread Central Presents, or Dread Presents. I've mentioned a few movies in this collection. This is actually number 21 out of the Dread Presents line or collection or whatever you want to call it. And the movie is called Harpoon. And to tell you the truth, I didn't know what I was getting into when I picked up this movie. I'm trying to collect the entire series, so whenever there's a new movie that comes out, I pre-order it, and then, once it comes out, I get it. Anyway, like I said, had no idea what this movie was going to be about, but let me just say, I didn't expect it to be as good, or I didn't expect to like it as much as I did watching it. Anyway, it's a horror comedy, if you would call it. It is very intense, but there is comedic, actions and comedic roles and stuff like that. I'll explain it a little bit more. It's directed by Rob Grant. It's also written by Rob Grant, and it's also written by Mike Kovac. It stars Brett Gelman, Emily Tyra, Munro Chambers, and Christopher Gray. So pretty much what this whole story is about, it revolves around three people. You got best friends, Richard and Jonah, and then you got Sasha, who is Richard's girlfriend and Jonah's friend. Let me just say, Brett Gilman character, he's the narrator. So you get a narrator over the top of everything, which is a different take on it. Those are literally the four people in this movie. There's three people that you see all the time, and then, like I said, you get a narrator. So Richard, Jonah, and Sasha are the three main characters in this. And you could call it somewhat of a love triangle, I guess you want to call it, where Jonah, like I said, Richard and Jonah are friends, and there's sexual tension, I guess you want to call it, between Sasha and Jonah, and Richard sees this. So Richard and Sasha are dating, and right in the beginning, right in the first part of the movie, Richard comes to Jonah's house and beats the shit out of him because he read these texts and he knows that Jonah and Sasha have been seeing each other or banging each other or whatever you want to call it, and he goes to the house and just beats the crap out of him. He's bleeding all over the place, and Jonah's like, what the hell's going on? And he said, I read your text, and he pretty much says, hey, listen, I'm only texting, and you see these texts because we got you something for your birthday. And he brings out this harpoon because Richard his father is rich and he owns this boating a boat, and they go fishing and all this stuff. So now Richard feels a little bad, and he's like, okay, I messed up, I screwed up. Let me take you to make up for it on a fishing trip. Let's just go. It's just us, and let's just go and fish and throw all this behind us, kind of deal. So the other two agree. They go on this ship, you start fishing, and then the story starts unraveling. Certain things start happening. You learn a little bit more about each character, why Richard is the way he is. Jonah might have a little bit more to do with Sasha than you think. It's just a convoluted story that grows and grows and grows, and you learn a little bit about everything. And they start not trusting each other. The only problem is, let's just say the boat doesn't work in the middle of the ocean. And, they're like, okay, don't worry about it. We're, let's just say in the middle of the whole scuffle and stuff that was going on the boat when these three don't trust each other. Let's just say the radio got busted. So now they have no, way to reach either shore because the boat doesn't work. Reach anybody for near, people sailing around them because the radio's broken. So they're like, okay, let's just wait for the next ship to pass us by, and they're going to see we're stranded, and we'll be fine. Little did they know, that weekend, not many people went fishing, and they're stuck. So now they have pretty much no food and water because it was only supposed to be a day trip, so they didn't really stock anything. And then they're stuck in the middle of the ocean, so they're stuck there for days, and it's just the craziness that ensues in this movie. I don't want to go way too deep into it. You have to see it, but it just goes nuts. There's certain scenes I was just like, oh, okay, didn't see that coming, and it was just all over the place. So if you haven't seen Harpoon, if you've never heard of Harpoon, I think you definitely have to check it out. With all my reviews and stuff, I leave the link for the trailer. I leave the link to where you can purchase the movie. And like I said, especially in these, I'm leaving the other 30 people doing the 31 days, their links to their YouTube channel, so you can check them out as well. Like I said, if you don't want to check out Harpoon or the other 16 movies that I've done, you could check out everybody else's channel that has something going on. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you like this review, definitely go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload more stuff. Even though, like I said, this month I'm doing a horror movie review a day, so you're going to get a review a day, so you don't have to wonder when I'm putting new stuff for this month. But definitely go ahead for future reference. And the thing I never really did is, if you have anything to say about this movie or anything else that I talk about, go ahead and leave comments. The 13th Wolfman always says, comment and stuff. I never really say it. So if you want to, if you've seen it and you have certain things to say about this movie, let me know in the comments. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Day number 17 of the 31 days. Like I said, still got more days to come. It's about a couple days past the midway mark, but there's still over 10 days left. So definitely keep on checking them out. And I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.